Hi, my name is Mark Welsh. We're here in Franklin, Tennessee at US 630. We've been open for about 2.5 years. The thing that made me want to become a franchisee was just having spent 20 some odd years in the corporate world and realizing that I didn't want to stay in that routine. No one person is going to walk in here and say to me, "You're closed." Nobody's going to do that. It's up to me to control whether we're great, good, or we lose out. So I'll come in the morning and check email, make sure I followed up on stuff that was left over from yesterday, and look at my calendar and make sure I know what's coming up during that day that I've got to watch out for. But the first thing is just kind of that, okay, where am I? Every day we have a work in progress meeting, and the general manager, Otis, will print out a report that lists everything that we're working on right now, and we sit down as a team, everybody's around the table, and we go through all the items that are on that list, all the locations they're at, who needs to call who needs to follow up on what. We go over anything that's got a firm wanted by date, make sure we're going to make that date. And so we spend anywhere from 15 minutes to half an hour going through that work in progress, and it's run by the general manager. Yeah, the key positions, basically, there's basically 5 of them. We've got Otis Peach, who's the general manager, and he runs the day-to-day operations of the facility. He makes sure that anything that comes in by email or phone or whatever is set up in Print Smith correctly, and he follows it all the way through to make sure it's delivered. Peter Smith works pretty closely with him on inside sales. Peter's kind of a customer service rep that deals with day-to-day operations of estimating and getting stuff turned around and just following up on calls, calling people, printing invoices, making sure that level of detail gets done. Lisa Glazer is a new employee relatively. She's the one who helps us with all of our social media, all of our Facebook email blasts, and she does all of our own marketing. So she figures out what direct mail pieces we're going to do, what programs we're going to run on Facebook, what kind of promotions we're going to do. Kathy Simpkins is our new sales manager that just came on board, and her job is to go out and find new customers. So she'll be calling on some big key accounts that we're currently working with to expand our service there, or she'll be calling on new referrals, or she'll just be hunting people down. David Miller's our design guy. He's the one who works under Otis's direction basically in terms of what he's working on, and under my direction for what it looks like.
Really,
Got lost on here?
yeah, I mean it's in there, but it didn't really show up.
This is a great example of doing more than just print. So for example, these guys called us up and they said we need a postcard, and that's where we had a dialogue with them to say, well, what are you doing? Where are you going? What we ended up doing was we did develop a postcard for them, but we did a pre-conference show, trade show mailer that went out by email blast that we coordinated for them. The direct mail piece then went out, and that was followed up at the trade show. We actually worked with them on a new booth. This is just a mock-up of the fabric panels that created the full 10-foot by 10-foot booth display for them. And then after all the people who came and visited them in the booth went back home, they got a follow-up email that coordinated that had a thank you for visiting us. And then the summary for them was we did all the clicks, everybody who went to the site, who clicked on their email. But the key to it is we printed very little. But we had a big, huge project and we made a lot of money on it. So it wasn't at all about printing, it was all about everything that went with the printing. So that kind of started it, but the rest of this was icing on the cake. Hey there!
Hi!
How are you?
Good. Good morning.
You ready to pick up your job?
I am, yes.
All right, Jennifer, right there. Looks great. What do you think? Most of the afternoons they vary widely in what I do. A lot of it, though, is we've identified a project in the morning that needs my attention or my time. And so usually around lunchtime or after that is when I'm doing that part of the process. So it may be calling on a client. It may be sitting down and actually doing some design work personally on the computer. It may be working with David on what he's doing. A lot of times we try to set our meetings up in the afternoon to go visit some of our vendors that are doing projects for us, or to go visit some of our clients. Hey Otis, Eagle Pro came in, picked up their stuff.
Oh, good.
He was happy, and I'm going to take this poster over to Haynes Vesco. All right, see you in about an hour. Thank you very much for meeting with me today. Appreciate it. All right, what have we got to do today? Usually when we finish up the day, Kathy's the first to leave. She's our salesperson, and she's the first to leave. She's just on an earlier schedule. So she and I will usually just at least touch bases, figure out what's going on for that, what happened that day that was good, and give her some of that review and positive feedback. Once she heads out of here, we really are just trying to wrap up and finish up everything that's left on the table. The lifestyle change with owning your own business, there's some great positive sides to it. The ability to kind of control my own fate was a huge factor in that decision, and I still think about that. So there are times, this weekend my daughter's swimming at a regional swim meet, and it's a big deal for her, and so I'm not going to be here on Friday. And I don't want to make it sound like there's a lot of time that I'm gone, because there's not. There's a lot of hours that I put in, but they're hours that I feel are much more rewarding than the hours I put in corporately. Because I'm not working for the big boss, I'm working for myself. And I see a direct translation to when I put in more hours, I get more out of it. And that's a big difference.